Hello everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Shelly. Good evening. So let's continue the session. Yesterday we have the day before yesterday. It was session. So let me start that. Hmm. Let me share my screen with you. Okay. So in the last session we have completed up to the dict. Okay. And today we see the else if else statements in Python. This is the conditional statement we apply somewhere. So here I am making one statement, this one. If x is greater than 0, print it is positive. So I just take another shell so we could better understand. I am giving some value to x if you want. You could give it later also. So I am giving 3 and here I make a if statement. First is the if we have to write, and then we have to write the condition. If x is greater than 0, 0, then we have to use the column and then enter, and then want whatever you want. Okay, so we are print it here. It is positive, and I just write this and I run it. I have just used the if only, so it is positive. If I put the value negative, x is equal to -3, and if I run this statement, x is greater than 0, and we see I am not getting any output, and even I am not getting any error. If I write the 0, and at that moment I am also not getting any error or any, it is running, but there is no condition we have given for that. This will apply only if this condition is true, x is greater than 0, then you will get this thing. Otherwise, x is equal to 0 or x is smaller than 0, you will not get anything. For that, we would like to use another condition. If it is not equal, it is not greater than 0, then what should be? So for that purpose, you have to write else, else, and then again colon. Then you have to write whatever the output you required. If this condition x is greater than is not fulfilled, then it is not positive. And if I run this, because we have given the x value 0 and it is not positive. If I put even any minus number, negative number, I will get it is not positive. If I put any positive number, then I will get it is positive. So with if the condition is fulfilled, then you will get this response. Otherwise, you will get this response. Sometimes you have more than one conditions. At that moment, what we do, I take another shell for that purpose. And here still I write something like anything 7. And if x is greater than 0, I will print it is positive. And I will use the aleph. Aleph, x is smaller than 0. And then column, I will write the another output which I want. It is negative. And then else I will use. Elif I could use many times, whatever I require. Elif I could use so many times what is per my requirement. But if an else will only come one time, and else uh, I will print neither negative nor positive. Neither negative nor positive. If I run this, if it is 7, then I will get it is positive. If it is 0, then I will get neither negative nor positive. If it is negative number, I will get it is negative. Does that make sense to everyone? Yes. How to use this if else conditional statement or the function? Yeah. Yes. Got it this? Now we see while loop. We have Python has various loops. Python has two primitive loop called commands like the for loops and the while loop. While loop, with the while loop, you can execute a set statement as long as condition true. So in the while it is already a condition, like if a statement we were writing some condition, here we have to write the condition with while. Because we want the iteration, we want some execution for a long time. And i's for the position is 1, the first position, and i's is smaller than 10. This is the condition. Print I, and what it will give me, and I plus equal to 1. This I have explained you earlier. I is equal to I plus 1. That is, you could write that way also. So first it will print 1, and then it will make 1 plus 1 2, and the 2 is also smaller than 10. It will print that. I will just clear it out, and then it will become 3, 2 plus 1 3, and the 3 is also less than 10. Similarly, up to 9 it will show us. Okay. Okay, so I is 9, and the 9 plus 1 will be 10, so it will not explain next time. So at that time we will use these all things. Here I have written one note that the remember to increment I, or else the loop will continue forever. Remember the increment of I, that is very important, or else the loop will continue forever and it will use your RAM. The while loop requires relevant variables to be ready. In this example, we need to define an indexing variable I, which we say to 1. And I explained this thing. We could set it to 3, and then it will start with 3 and end with 9. So in this way, we could do it. Now the break statement. With the break statement, we can stop the loop even if the while condition is true. This while condition is I is less than 10, but I want to break this I equal to 5, and then it will recontinue. It will recontinue or break. So in the break statement, it will break, it will not continue after that. So if with the if I require here for write down the break, that is very important. The while I is smaller than 10, print I, and if I equal to 5, break, and at the last I will write this the increment, and I will run this. So you see I am getting only 3 4 5. If I write here 1, I will get 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, it will break at 5 because I have given one more condition inside that. Inside that while condition, I have given one more condition. I want to break it here. Okay. The continue statement, what it will do, it will break at 3 but recontinue after 3. So I is smaller than 10, and here you see I plus equal to 1. And if I equal to 3, continue and print I. So you see the increment I have written here. If I remove this increment from here and I make another one, so it would be better to understand. You see, it will not stop. It is continue. It is still running. It is running. It will not stop. Okay. So it will be continue if you write in this way. So that thing I would like to explain, that we have to put the increment here instead of here. Okay. So what we have to do, it is not stopping. It is still running. It will be running where it will use my system whole RAM. And what I will do, I will try to close it. Just a moment. You see, it was running continuously, and I am now out from the server, and again I will do that. Uh, Python 2. First case I have not run. Na? I had not run that moment. Where this one? This one. This
Yes.
one. This one I have not run. Na? I had not run.
Okay.
I had not. I will run now because I want to show you that thing.
Okay.
So I have written in the extra cell, and I have shown you that thing. Don't do this sort of mistake.
Okay. Okay.
So you write here. In the previous case, you see we are writing here in the break and in the simple while
Yes.
loop. But when you use the continue, okay,
Yeah.
so we are putting here increment. Okay, then we will set that continue condition and then print it. Okay.
Okay.
So we will not get through the one, we will get it through two in this
Okay.
case, because we will print I. So print I is I plus equal to 1.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it? Yes, Alka?
It's a by mistake, sir.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
but like condition, if I equals to 3, if it satisfies only then it will continue, right?
Yeah, it is the I will 3 will not show it. If I equal to 3, it will not show that 3.
Okay, okay. So it will come out of the loop, like
It
it.
will continue later on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, skip the value. Correct, Vijay. Skip that value which we are writing here in the if condition with continue. Else if statement we could use here I is 1 and I is smaller than 6, print I, and then I plus 1, and else print I is no longer less than 6. So this is the else condition. If else, you know that. So while else we could also apply. And if instead of if else, we could apply the else with I. Sorry, with while. Okay. If else you have seen in the previous sheet script, and here you see the while else. Okay. So it will block the code where it is finished. So it is the I is smaller than 6, so it is will go up to the 5, and the last one it will show if you put the else condition, else it will print this thing. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. Now we see the for loop. Python for loop is used for iterating over a sequence that is either a list, a tuple, a dictionary, a set, or a string, whatever it may be. This is less like the for keyword in the other programming languages and works more like a iterator method is found in other object-oriented programming language. With the for loop, we can execute a set statement once for each item and a list, tuple, etc. So the range function, the built-in function range, is the right function to iterate over a sequence of numbers. It generates an iterator of arithmetic progression. So just I am saving the range 5. If I run the range 5, I will show you first. So if I just write the range and 5, you will see what I get. This I am not getting. I am getting the n over e from 0 to 5. But if I R1 and print R1 and the list R1, you see what I get. When I list this range, R1 range, so I get 0 from indexing 0. It will always start with 0, whatever you have written. And then 1, 2, 3, in default, we have the different approach also for the range. For the sequence, if the sequence function we work in R, and for the arithmetic progression, we could use through this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, up to the 5 will not include, the last will not include. What you have written here, it will not include over there. Range generate an iterator to progress integers starting from 0 up to n minus 1 to obtain a list object of the sequence. It is typecasted to list. Now, this list can be iterated using the for statement. So, for I in list range 5 and print I, we could use in this way. Print each fruit in the fruit list. We could print this in the fruit list in this way. Apple, the for loop does not require any indexing variable to set beforehand. Okay. Using else statement with loops. Python supports having an else statement associated with a loop statement, as we have seen in the while loop. If the else statement is used with the for loop, the else block is executed only if for loops terminate normally or not be encountering breaks statement. So if the else statement is used with the while loop, the else statement is executed when the condition becomes false. So I just show you, you try to understand it. I have given some number, and here I give some 17, and here I also give 71, and here 23, and okay. if number if num in numbers, for num in numbers, if number percent 2 divided by 2, not the divided, here percent is for the remainder. So the number percent by 2 is divided by 2 is equal to 0. Remainder, it gives us the remainder. So remainder is equal to 0. Print num. I just taking up to here. So there is no number which is dividing by 2. Every number is an odd number here. And then I use else. Print list does not contain an even number. The list does not contain a even number. The list does not contain a even number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So here also you get the 11 times. If I use the break, we see what happens. And I do it. If I get here 2 and I run this, I am getting 72. Okay. If I don't use this break, first I will show you. You better pay your attention, then you could see it in a better way. What I am going to do here. It is giving me the 72, the print number where we are getting the remainder 0. If we divide 72 and if I use the else, I am getting this. Okay. And if I remove this also, now you got it. So I have written here, if the else statement is used with the for loop, the else block is executed only if for loops terminates only and not be encountering break statement. If the else statement is used with the while loop, the else statement is executed when the condition become false. So in the while loop we have seen it, but here you will see it will break here, and before that it will show, and after there is also the numbers. If I convert few more numbers like this and like this, and you will see now it is giving me no. If I remove this break, sorry, and I run it, it is better. Now you understand the difference of the break. If you take the break, it will stop only the first which you get. If you don't use the break, basically in the else, if you are using if else, don't use the break, then you will get the 72. Then the list does not contain even number, and then 42. Okay, is it clear? Okay. Now loop through the letters in the word banana. We have the various uh, letters in the banana, and for x in banana, if I apply the loop here in the banana, then I will get the banana in this way. Okay, and now we understand in a deep way about the break. So we are making a list of the fruits, and x in fruits, print x. I know. If x is equal to mango, break. This is the same condition. This is the same condition. So it will apple, banana, cherry, and mango. Then it will not print this all. So one also I have given here. Here you see I have put the print x here before this if condition, and then I use the break. Here I am using the if condition first, then I am printing. See what happens. See the difference in both. It's a minor difference, but it is very, very important sometimes. Here the mango is included. If you are printing here before the if break condition, and you have, if you are printing after if break condition, you are not getting that mango, which is equally good. Okay, is it clear to you? The position of print is very important here. Now the similar statement, continuous statement, as we work with the while. So I will show you. So it will not mention the mango here. It will continue after that. Now we see with the range function. If x in the range, and just good indentation here, and I will get the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as I mentioned you. So you know that it is not a value from 0 to 6, it is value from 0 to 5. The range function defaults to as 0 as the starting value. However, it is possible to specify the starting value by adding a parametric range 2, 6. So the first value will be the starting, and the 6 would be the nth value, or we will get the print of n minus 1 value, which means value will start from 6 to 6, but not including 6. So here I explain you. It will start from 2 and end with 5. We have one more thing, and the range function is very, very important here. It is very useful. The range function defaults to increment the sequence by 1. This is increment by the sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the. However, it is possible to specify the increment value by adding the third parameter. That is the what increment you want. So first is the starting. Second is the end point. We are the before that the 30 is there. So 29 you will get. And if you want the increment 3, so you will get the 2, then 5, then 8 in this way. When I run this, so you see 2, 5, 8, 11. It is the arithmetic progression we are getting here. Arithmetic sequence. Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
So this we could use here for a sequence making a else in for loop now. So if range in x in range 6, print x, else print finally finished. If it is, so it will write the up to 5 and then it will give us the finally fill. And the last one is the nested loops. So we are taking the adjective like the red, big, and the tasty, and another vector, sorry, list. I am taking the apple, banana, and cherry, and I am nesting the loop. In the one loop, I am putting another loop. So for x in adjective, for y in fruits, and the print xy. So see what I get. Okay. I do one more thing. Could better understand that. It is the 1 into 4 4, 1 into 5 5, 1 into 6 6, then 2 into 4 8, 2 into 5 10, 2 into 6 12, then 3 into 4 12, and 3 into 5 15, and 3 into 6 18. What? Yes. So this is about the Python loop, and we see the Python function. A function is a block of code which only must runs with it when it is called for, or a function is a set of code that performs some task. You can pass data known as parameter into a function. A function can return data as a result. So there are two things in a function. One is creating a function. Second is calling a function. Two things are there. So the syntax is, you see, the define is the syntax def. Then you write the function name, whatever you will call later on, and then the statement, what work you want from that function. So first part we are getting this, how to define a function, how to create a function. So I'm define my function, my underscore function is the name. Define this function, and this function only give me hello from a function. This work I want to be executed, this task I want to be executed by this function. And if I run this function, so the function has been run now, but I have not called the function. Until I call the function, I will not get the output, I will not get the result. So to call the function, I will just I will remove these all outputs, and I will just call that function, because I have not given any parameter here inside that bracket. So there is no need of the parameter. So my function I will just run with a blank bracket, round bracket. So hello from a function. So this output I will get when I call a function. Does that make sense to everyone? How does this function works? How, when we will go in detail, but just understand the concept of the function. Okay, there are two things. One is creating a function, or we could also say that define a function, then call a function. Okay. Now we see the parameters and arguments. Some people say it is a parameter, some say the arguments. Inside this parenthesis, whatever we write, they are called the parameters or the arguments. The information can be passed to a function as parameter. Parameters are specified after the function name, inside the parenthesis, after the function name, inside the parenthesis, this. And you can add as many as parameters as you want, just separate them with comma. So this example I will not explain you. You will get some confusion through this. I will use some other example, and I will take one more cell for that. You could better understand that. I define a function for the circumference of the circle. So I write the name CIR, and I give the parameter. In the circle, there is only one variable, that is a radius. Understand? So I will just write the X, one parameter, and then I will use the colon, and then I will find out whatever I want. So C I am writing for the circumference, And here I write the formula for the circumference. Because I am not using any library or the package here, so I could not use the pi. है ना? The pi is the math library function, which I am not importing here. So what I will do, I will write the 2 into 3.14 instead of pi. Does that make sense to everyone? 3.14. This is the value of pi I am putting. And then I am putting the x. Correct? That variable I have taken, the parameter. And then I will print. Uh, I will print it. Print x. Print c. C is the final output. I run this. So what I have done there? Okay, there is a 2 point because this point I forget to remove. I call this function. Now I will call this function. I create this function, define this function. Now I call it CIR. That is the function name. Um, I write one and I run it. Got it? Oh, 6.28. Getting it? I have written the print C. If I will tell you later on the return also we write sometime. Return C. I will explain you that thing later on. So if I write here 2, if I take the radius 2, I will get 12.56. So once I create a define a function, and then whenever I require it, just call the function. Okay. Is it clear to all? I will tell you. I will tell you in this script. I will mention you later on. Okay, between the difference between return and the print. Just wait. We will cover that thing also. Passing a list as a parameter. So here what I am doing, I am making a function. First I read this. So you can send any data types of parameter to a function, the string, the number, list, dictionary, etc., tuple, anything. And it will be treated as the same data type inside the function. Okay, that is very important note. And if you send a list as a parameter, it will still be a list when it reaches the function. So define my function x for I in x, print I. I just want to print it. And the fruits apple, banana, cherry. And I will just uh, keep it just a moment. and then I will show you later on that. Okay, so I will just print this. I will use this function for that, the apple, banana, and this. Now I will make it comment, and I uncomment this, and I make it comment and uncomment this. So now you see I'm using a list 1 3 2 5 7, and I will get 1 2 3 5 7. So in this way, so we could pass a list in a function also, and we could get but for passing a list we require the for loop. We want the output in this way. Then now we have 4 types of arguments. Arguments is what? Arguments is what? These are the parameters basically, or that is called the argument. So required argument. Here when we have created this circumference function and I have used the return instead of print this, and I just use for circumference 2 for the 2 radius I am taking, and I run it. So I am getting this. Okay. And if I remove this and I again print, again run this, I have not printed, I have not given any print command in the loop or the outside the loop. I have not given it in the function or outside the function. Sorry. I'm getting the circumference of the 9, radius 9. I'm not getting the circumference of the 2. But if I use the print instead of return, then I see what happens. What the difference? I will tell you in detail also about the return later on, but here I have just shown you one glimpse of that. There are some technical thing also I will tell you. Define parameter. The parameter of rectangle and these all, there are 2 parameters. There are 2 variables in a rectangle and the square all. There is a length and breadth. So X and Y, 2 parameters. These are the required parameters. They are compulsory. Whenever you call the function to write this parameter is compulsory. If you don't write this and you run it, you will get an error because the circumference missing one required positional argument. So we have not put the positional argument here. That is the required parameter which you have written here. Got it? So here are the 2 required parameter or the 2 required argument. Result I want 2 into x plus y. This is the parameter formula of the parameter of the rectangle, 2 length plus breadth. I want the print result because the print is a function and the return is a keyword. I will tell you later about this in detail. And I want a parameter 5 3. So if I run this, I will get this. So because I have choose the print, so if I remove this, I will get the parameter of all. It will print because I have given the print command here. If I don't use it, if I use it, then I will get the parameter of last one. Okay. This is the required argument. We require the both argument. If you don't write one argument, you write just one. Second argument you are not writing, you will get the error. Because the both arguments are compulsory to write. when you call the function. Now about the default argument. In the default argument, here I show you with this example. It will be better for you first, then I will explain this one. Define my function x, y. X and y two are attributes or the arguments are there. So y equal to 3. So y equal to 3 is the default argument. If you don't write the second argument, it will take 3 as a default. As we have seen the range, so range will start from 0. You have not written the start. So the start is the default argument is 0. Have you seen the range function? Got it? If you write the range 6, what we get? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No? You have not mentioned from it should be start. So the first argument, which is the start argument, that is default argument is 0. Default value is 0 of that argument. Understand? Here the default value of y is 3. And the operation I want x plus 2 into y. And the print OPR. So if I just write the 6, then 6 will go for x, which is the required argument, and the y will be 3 as a default. So we get the output with 6 and 3. So we are getting 12. So here we are getting 6 plus 2 into 3. So we are getting 12. Does that make sense to you? What is the default argument? How does it work? Okay. So if you write some other, instead of 3, you want some other breadth. Here we are taking 3 as a breadth and x as a length and the y as a breadth. So we take 5. So it will now apply 5. It will take 5 instead of 3 because you have written the another argument previously which was default. Now 6 plus 2 into 8, 2 into 5. Sorry. 6 plus 2 into 5. 2 into 5 is 10 plus 6 is 16. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. So in the default argument, you could write your own value also when you call the function if you require. Otherwise, it will take the default value if you don't mention it. Is it clear to all? Yes. Now next. Keyword arguments. Because sometimes we don't know the sequence. We don't know the sequence. What should come first and what should come later. And we know the number of arguments, how many are there, but we don't know the sequence of them. Here I am writing the length, breadth, and height. This is the sequence. Anybody does not know that what should be the sequence. First we have to write the length, then breadth, then height. So at that moment we require the keyword. We also use this keyword when we call the function. We could write this keyword in any sequence because you are writing with the keyword. So length you could write at the last, it will work like length. Otherwise you have to write the length first, breadth second, and height third. If you remember the sequence. If you don't know the sequence, then use the keyword. Does that make sense to everyone? So here the my function, I am taking the 3-dimension length, breadth, and height, and the ones I am getting the volume, length into breadth into height. This is the formula for volume. And the LSA, lateral surface area, this is the 2 length plus breadth into height. And I want to print the volume of the cuboid that is the volume which I get here. And the print the volume of, so the LSA of the cuboid, lateral surface area of the cuboid, with the area of the walls, 4 walls of the room. That is the LSA. And that I am taking. Here if I know the sequence, I don't need to write the keyword argument. I know the length, then breadth and height. So I will write the length of room is 10 and the breadth of room is 10 feet wide and the 10 feet long and the 12 feet is the height of the room. I know this. And I know the sequence also, the length, breadth, and height. So I will arrange in that sequence and I will call it. So I will get this. If I am confused with the sequence, the length will come first. The second I is confused, the breadth or the height will come first. Then I will not use this. I will use the keyword arguments. So this is the keyword argument. Length, the first length, this is I will use here. Length equal to 10, height equal to 12. You see the height here, and I'm writing height here. And the breadth equal to, I could write in any sequence now because I am using the keywords. And if I run this, I will get the 1280 again. Does that make sense to everyone? What does it mean by the keyword arguments? Quark. Quarks is the keyword shortcut to comment a line or a paragraph. What is the keyword shortcut to comment a line or a? Okay. Comment a line. Okay, I understand what you are asking. Keyword shortcut, you control and forward slash with near the shift key right hand side. Control then forward slash. The question mark button with control. Got it, Raj? And uncomment with the same. Okay. Now, third one is the arbitrary arguments. Arbitrary arguments, I first define this. If you do not know how many arguments that will be passed into your function, add a asterisk before the parameter name. One asterisk we have, only the asterisk we have to add before the parameter name in the function definition. And this way, the function will receive a tuple of argument and can access the items accordingly. Okay, so you will see it. I am making a function for addition. I am making a function for addition. So I have given the function add. The function name is add. And I will use the asterisk and then I will write down the variable x, y, z, whatever you write. I am using the a here. You could use the x, y, z, whatever. And then I am writing down the total is equal to 0. Total is equal to 0. The first time the sum would be 0. For I in a, total plus equal to I. Total plus equal to I. Print this is sum is. This sum is total. So I will show you. If I don't write any argument in this add and I run this, the sum is 0. There is no argument. If I write the 0, I will get the sum is 0. If I write the 1, I will get the sum is 1. If I write the 1 comma 4, 5, what? I could use as many as. Got it? I don't know how many arguments are there. So I have put here 5 arguments. I could put so many arguments. Got it? Is there any doubt with this arbitrary arguments? Yes. Anyone has any doubt with this arbitrary argument? Yes. No.
Sir, what is that add does? I'm not getting exactly.
Add is a function name.
Okay.
The main thing is the asterisk. You write the asterisk before the variable.
Okay.
Okay, because before the argument, and then it will mention like how many arguments you could take here. I could use for the multiplication also.
Okay.
You know, you could multiply so many. Understand?
Right.
So this is the arbitrary argument, or we don't know how many times how many arguments would be there in the addition and the subtraction. Subtraction there is two only. We could use the many also in the subtraction, multiplication. Okay.
Okay.
This function is being used in a calculator and these all.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. For the xy, we see this function. I am not using here the arbitrary. I have just prepared one. Somebody asked me, so I mentioned you there are only two. So there is no need of the arbitrary argument here in the difference. Now I will come to that point, the print versus return in Python. Print versus return. Printing and returning are completely different concepts. Print is a function you call. The print is a function because we use the parenthesis with print. Calling print will immediately make your program write our text for you to see. Okay. Use print when you want to show a value to a human. Okay. Return is a keyword. As I explained you, return will not come with the parenthesis. When a return statement is reached, the Python will stop the execution. Understand? It will stop the execution of the current function and sending a value out to where the function was called. So when the function will call, the value will be there. Understand? When you call the function, you will get that value. Understand? And use return when you want to send a value from one point in your code to another. Using return changes the flow of the program, using print does not. So return will change the flow of the program. Okay. And print will not change that thing. So you will call the function in some other variable, the some other place you call that function, fill in the some other column of your data frame. Then you will use the return. And then you call in that column, for that column, that function, and the value will be saved in that column particular. Understand? I will show you little examples. Return values. To let a function return a value, use the return statement. So this is the return. Define my function 1x, return 5 into x. And my function 1 3, if I write, I just comment this and I will show you this. You see it is 15. And if I print my function 3, I am getting this again. And I will show you. Define my function 2y and return y plus my function 1. This is the function 1, this is the function 2. And this is a variable y, there is a variable x. I will not print this. And I am defining this function with respect to this function. I am taking the return, I am taking the y, this variable plus my this function. And I want to print my function 2 5. So the 5 will be for y, and here 3 we have taken. Okay, so we'll get in this way. Oh, what is going there? Mhm. So this is there. Now let I explain you later on. The few more important things remain, but there is so much explanation is required. So the factorial function and this all I will explain you. Okay, I finish it. So we will finish this script. Keyword we have completed, return we have completed. This I explained here. This is the same example, but it a little bit confused. So I have done with the numbers. So this is the same thing I explained there. So the defined function that prints print I printed, and the defined function that returns return I return. So the f1 function that prints and the f2 function that returns and the print. Now let us see what the value of f1 and f2. Print f1 and print f2. So I will show you. This is for the print I printed. This is the print. Let us see what the value of f1 and f2. This print is none. F1 will not print anything. The function that prints f1, and f2 is function that returns. So I return. Okay. Got it?
So why it is none? Because print is not executed.
Yes.
Okay.
So I printed here. I have written this.
Yeah.
If I just write the f1,
Hmm.
it will not give me.
Yeah.
It will not give me because it has printed itself here. Now I printed in the first.
Hmm.
Then it will not print now. Okay, otherwise I have to call the function and then it will give me.
Or sir, is it because nothing is there in the parameter? That's why none came.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why. Now I will show you this also. The phrase keywords arguments are often shortened to quarks in the Python documents. The keyword arguments we use the quarks. Okay. Now the recursion. Recursion is also a very important thing, and one should be very careful about when doing this sort of thing. Python also accepts functions recursion, which means a defined function can call itself. The function call itself, that is the recursion. Recursion is a common mathematical and programming concept. It means that a function calls itself. The function will call itself. We don't have to call the function, it will call itself inside that. That has the benefit of meaning that you can loop through data to reach a result. The developer should be very careful with recursion, as it can be quite easy to slip into writing a function which never terminates, or one that uses excess amount of memory or processor power. However, when written correctly, recursion can be very efficient and mathematically elegant approach to programming. Termination condition: a recursive function has to fulfill the important conditions to be used in a program. It has to terminate. That is the base condition. And second is the recursive condition. The recursive function terminates if we, with every recursive call, the solution of the problem is downsized and moves towards the base case. A base case is a case where the problem can be solved without further recursion. The recursion can end up in an infinite loop if the base case is not met in the calls. So I will show you the very simple example of the factorial. So how many do you don't know about the factorial?
Me.
Yes. So I will show you what does it mean by the factorial. If I write the factorial 5, it means 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Got it? It is 120. If I write the factorial 4, it is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay?
Okay.
It is 24. If I write in this way, that is 3 into 2 into 1, that is 6. If I write 2, 2 into 1, 2, and 1, it is 1. Factorial 0 is also 1. Okay? This is the factorial mean. So I want to make a function for the factorial. And maybe I could put any number. If n is equal to 1 and n is equal to 0, return 1, because the value of both is 1. What it? So it is my base case. The base case is start with n, and whatever the value of n, it will reduce 1 by 1 and it will go to the n equal to 1. When it will approach here or here, so the first one will come, or the negative side, the 0 will come first. So, but the negative is not possible in the factorial case. So this will come first. When it achieve this, the work will finish and it will give us the result. So else return n into factorial n minus 1. So I will show you here again. I could write the factorial 5 as 5 into factorial 4. I could write in this way. Am I correct? So the n into factorial n minus 1. N is 5. 5 into factorial 4. That is correct. Okay. It is a recursive case. And the result is factorial n. The result is factorial n. And I want written in the result. I want written result. So then it will go, it will do this thing. And then again we get factorial n minus 1. And this will go here again. Means 4 will go here again. So now 4 is not 1 or 0. So 4 will get here 4 into factorial 3. Got it? Now this 3 will go there, and then 3 into factorial 2. 2 into factorial 1. And the factorial 1 is 1. It will finish there. So it is the recursive case. It will go n into factorial n minus 1 return. And this way it will go. And it will fulfill up to this condition. And
Sir, I will stop here. How that decrement will occur? I mean, we have not given any uh, uh, decremental command. So how it will happen? I mean, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
what I am writing here?
Because of n minus 1.
Fact n minus 1 I am writing. Or fact is what? This function.
Okay.
This function I am calling inside the function. Same function. The function is calling itself. Got it now? That point.
Acha.
Okay.
Okay.
So it is calling itself. So it will, what it will do? In this way it will go. I will show you now the complete picture. Okay. Got it? Does that make sense to you?
I mean, I understood what exactly you are trying to do, but
Hmm.
I'm not able to understand how the iteration will take place. Decremental.
Decremental because we are taking the n minus 1.
Okay. So
First
here,
is, first I have written here 5 inside that. Okay.
hmm,
So what, it is not equal to 1. N is not equal to 1. N is 5 here.
yes, it will go to else.
So it will go here
Uh,
and it will divide in two part, n into factorial n minus 1. This we have got it.
hmm,
This fact n minus 1 in call again. The function we are calling, this function we are calling again here, downward.
okay.
Again this function we are calling, and here we have what we are calling here, n minus 1. N is there already, n is there, 5 is there, and we are calling that function. So that function is factorial 4 we are getting. Now you see it. I'm writing in the factorial, or I could write in this way that this is also for that, this thing and this thing is same. Okay.
Mhm.
And then you are getting factorial 4. So 5, and again it will divide this 4 into n minus 1. 4 into 3.
Hmm,
Got it? 4
yes.
into factorial 3.
Mhm,
Again I will call it. So it will 3 into factorial 2.
mhm,
Again I will call it. It will 2 into factorial 1.
hmm.
Okay. So factorial 1 if I am getting, so my work is completed now. In the factorial I am getting 1. I don't try to know, need to read this one. Here it itself completed.
Right, right.
Now got it? How it is
Yes,
working?
yes.
Function is calling itself. Okay.
Hmm,
You could see in this direction also, no? Not that direction. I mentioned there in that direction. You could do the function we are calling again.
hmm.
Okay. Again and again we are calling it.
Right, right.
Now I will show you that thing. What is the result of this? I just ran it. So it is the factorial 10. If I write the factorial 5, you know the value of factorial 5 is 120. So I will show you that value, that is 120. Okay. This is the recursive, the function calling itself. Okay.
sir. So for n equals to 0, in which case we would be getting?
In the 0, if you write, you will get the value 1.
Yeah.
If you write the 1, you will get the value 1.
No, sir. If condition is there, na, n equals to 1 or n equals to 0.
Or is condition. Either it may be 1 or it may be 0. So it will return 1 because the
Okay.
both value is 1.
Okay. So, sir, I was just asking that n equals to 0, in which case we'll be getting in factorial?
No, it will stop here because I have put this. If I don't put, no need.
Okay, sir.
No need to write this. But I have written because the value of factorial 0 is also 0.
Oh, okay, sir.
Factorial of 0 is 1. If I
Yeah.
don't write this, suppose I remove it from, and if I call it, I will get 1, no problem.
Mhm.
But if I write here 0, then what I get? I see.
Okay.
Getting?
So,
What we are getting?
yeah, it's error.
So somebody may ask about the 0, now what is the factorial 0?
Yeah. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
So I have written that thing. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I will tell you later, Raj Bansi, where the result will store. Okay. That is depends on your work and then in which database and where you want that value to be. Wherever you call, it will store over there. No? Okay. You have to mention the. So this is all about the our functions. So I think you all understand the function.
So we have understood, but when we do it practically, then we can understand more.
Okay.
Yes.
Shelly, have you filled that form?
Sir, I paid but couldn't get that last form. What we have to fill now? That last final form we have to fill after the payment.
Okay, for the Python, this na P1.
Yes, sir.
But you have not. I have not seen your name in this because there was some mistake done by our office.
Okay.
Because that person who managed this was not was absent, so other have done that thing.
Okay.
So
So can you just send me that like final where
because
after?
I have not got your name in that list, in the Python list. So you have not received the material up to now, na?
No, sir.
Okay, so what you do,
Yes, sir.
you send me the payment slip on my WhatsApp. So
Okay.
I will tell them to include your email ID.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
So when you have deposited it?
Sir, today.
Today. Okay, today
Yeah.
itself. So you fill the form also. Is
Sir, but
there do you have the link?
no, sir.
Okay, I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
fill that link, so it will be automatically be there.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Now, anyone has any issue regarding the payment? I have read some person's issue. They are unable to pay. Yes, due to some reason. Yes.
Sir, did you get my certificate?
Yes, yes. I have got your that detail there. I will share today the material.
Okay.
Okay, I will share
Okay.
it today. I have seen that there.
Okay. Okay.
Someone has issue with the uh, payment. I don't know the name, but the number is there. 462, then the last, whose number is this? 462 and 726. The
Sir,
last.
462 was mine. I couldn't do that time, but later on, then some I.
Okay. And the 726?
Yes, sir, I think he was from first batch also before, but
Okay, he is not here now,
no,
I
no,
think.
no.
Okay.
Okay.
And someone has any issue? Okay. So I think it was very interactive session regarding the function. You understand little bit about the function. Yes. And Raji, Anil, Aditya. Okay. So do the practice with the seats, and this study material will always be helpful for you for the reference. Okay.
Sir, one small doubt I have.
Yes.
Uh, uh, does this return keyword you said, right?
Yes.
Return,
Return is a keyword.
yeah. So this return keyword acts as a break
Yeah.
keyword.
As is a break, where the function stop the execution.
So I mean the working of break and return are same. That means.
No, break is a different thing. Break the iteration, and that is a, you could think that that is the same thing. You could take in that manner also.
Okay.
You could take in that manner also. So you require some practice only in this, because the same classes I take in the upgrade also,
Mm-hmm.
and they are charging more than 5 lakh rupees. You see the fee of them,
Yeah.
but they are just giving the certificate or some other good university with that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So here we are providing with very small amount. The
Yes.
same content is same, everything is same. Okay. So you keep this script, and it will be helpful later to you. Okay. So thanks everyone. Let's meet tomorrow. No, sorry, I would like to say that tomorrow I have a session with. I have some other session, so we'll meet Monday. Okay.
Yeah.
And the next week we will conduct the 5 days class again. Okay. This week we have conducted only 4 sessions, na? I think. Okay. Next week we'll conduct the 5 session, and after that the 1 day session we will conduct on Monday. Okay.
Okay.
So I will share the material today, and you practice it. Okay. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.